Good morning, everybody. My name is Kristen Collins. I work for Information Technology Services, and you are participating in ITS Connect. Today we're learning about Google Sites. So as we go through this presentation, what I'm going to do is use a PowerPoint. I'm going to take you into my desktop so you can watch me work with Google Sites live. And as you might come up with questions, please go ahead and type them into chat. Everyone can see chat. If I don't recognize your questions right away, I will get back to them later. And if I did not answer your question at some point, you can go ahead and email me later at kristen.collins@case.edu. It's in the links area, or you can try and chat me again while we're recording live. All right, so let's get started with the presentation. Google Sites is part of the Google Apps for Education suite of services that we have available to us at Case Western Reserve. You can get to it right now at sites.case.edu. You'll log in with your network ID and password. What this is a web-based application for creating websites. It could be accessed from any web-enabled device, so there's no software to download, and you could be on any computer in the world. As long as you can go to sites.case.edu and log in, then you'll be able to use the Sites interface. It has what we call a WYSIWYG editor, which means what you see is what you get. So it's very intuitive, very easy to use. And this does integrate with other Google apps, specifically Google Docs and Google Drive. And if you joined me last month, then you know what that is. So Sites is really nice because you can use it for a variety of applications. It could be shared with the public, it could be shared just within the crew domain, or it could be shared with select individuals. And then amongst those individuals, you can give them ownership rights to the site, which means they can make a whole host of changes. You can give them editor-only rights to the site or view-only access. So what this means to you is that you can use Sites for private purposes. You could use it as, say, a site for just your organization, just your pool of office coworkers. You can make it sort of a company or division intranet if you want. You can make a site for classes. You can make a site for an organization you belong to. It has a whole bunch of uses. One of the nice things about Google Sites is you're not necessarily starting from scratch. There are free templates on the web that cater to different uses, and I'll go over some of them with you later. And if you want to start from scratch with just a very basic template, you can do that too. So I'm going to show you how to go through that today. Google Sites have a lot of potential uses for you, both on campus and for whatever you're doing, maybe if you're taking coursework, for organizations that you belong to as well. So you can create from Google Sites course sites. You could do wikis. Because if you're not familiar, we did have a wiki.case.edu that's going to be going out of service. So Google Sites is a great replacement for that. Blogs, again, that's a wonderful way to use a Google site. Organizations and committees can use these, and projects can use Google Sites as well. Within our ITS organization, we tend to create a Google site when we have a new project that we're working on, because we can make it a central place to host things like documentation, calendars, and a whole host of other Google Apps related products, files, just so we have a central spot to store everything. So I'll show you one of those later. All right, so today what I'm going to show you is how to create a site. I'm going to show you some themes that you can use, templates, and I'm going to show you 2 sample sites, and we're going to look at sharing and rights as well, so you have a good way to start using Google Sites. First of all, to get to Google Sites, you're going to go to sites.case.edu. This is our entrance to Google Sites with our crew network IDs and passwords. So you'll sign in through our single sign-on page. Also, if you're already signed in to a Google app through single sign-on, you'll notice at the very top of your screen, you're going to see a row of the apps like Mail, Calendar, Drive. Sites should be next to Drive, so you can just click on it there and it'll open in a new tab. All right, so let me show you, I'm going to show you my desktop. So 1 second while I share my screen. When I go to sites.case.edu, I log in and I get a whole list of sites that I already have access to. So this is one way where you can always find out who's given you access to a Google site and what's going on. Over here on the left side is the Create button. So if you click Create, this is how you start creating a new Google site. You get a choice of selecting a template or browsing the gallery for more. You can use a blank template. Let me show you what the gallery looks like. this is the gallery. What's going to come up is case.edu templates first. There's also public and featured. Some of the sites that I've really liked as far as templates go is the portfolio template. And when you click on that, you can click preview. Oh, looks like that's not the one I had access to. Let me go back. Let's see, English ePortfolio. Let's try that one. Okay. This is a site that a faculty member made for students, and this is just a template, so you're not overwriting somebody's site. You just get the style from the site imported into your site if that's what you want to do. So that's one template. But if you want to create a blank site, you could do that too. You just click on blank template. You put in a name for your site, so you can name it after yourself. You can name it after an organization that you're in. So you can see after I type in the name for my site, I just typed in my name. Down here under site location, it tells you what the actual URL is going to be for the site, all right? So that's how you create a site. You just click the create button, and all of a sudden you have a nice, fresh, new blank site. So I'm going to cancel this out and show you the site that I've already created. This is my Google site demo. This is a home page, really simple, really clean, just a blank page that you can fill in. And I've created more web pages on the side here. Let me go back to my PowerPoint real quick. So I showed you, I believe, one template. Here's what the intranet template looks like. It's already got a couple pages set up for you. It has the home screen, and it gives you pages for documents, calendar, directory, and discussion. So these are different types of web page formats that can take different types of interaction. So you can have a place like a forum where comments can be left and can be responded to. And the links are in the middle of this page here. There's also announcements and resources, and they're also here on the left in the site navigation. So this is a template that I really like, and I've seen used repeatedly throughout ITS for our projects because people seem to really like it as a basis to work from, and you don't have to come up with the graphics, you don't have to come up with the layout of having the documents and calendar and one row and the little Go Now button. Google Sites does all of that for you. So that's one of the things I really like about Google Sites. So the templates that you can create in a Google site. When you go to create a new page within a Google site, you have a couple of pages that you can make. And this is all pre-programmed stuff, so that you don't need to know any HTML or Java, cascading style sheets, the kind of stuff that you need to know to work with Dreamweaver, which is something you're welcome to use from our software center if you are so inclined. You don't need to know that stuff to use Google Sites, and that's why so many people use it on campus. So there's a couple of templates that you can use. There's the web page template, which is just a very unstructured page that you could add anything to. You could add text, you could add images, you can embed Google Apps spreadsheets and documents. There's the file cabinet. It allows you to organize common documents in one place. So you could actually upload files and organize them in a file cabinet fashion. We use this a lot. There's the list, where you can choose a type of list from a list of templates, and then you could also configure your own list to make a web page that has an interactive list that is editable from within that page. We use that a lot. There's the announcements page, which basically creates an RSS feed. It's like a blog, so it's an easy way to post chronological information. And then there's the start page. I don't use this very often. I haven't seen many people use it, but it's got a special section where you as the website builder put stuff, and then there's another section where each user that has access to it can put their own customized content. So kind of like launchpad.case.edu or igoogle.case.edu if you're familiar with any of those products. So let me show you what these web pages look like. Okay, so again, we're on my demo site. Let me show you what a web page looks like. Now, to create these web pages within my website, I click on this little guy up here, if you can see where I'm pointing. It looks like a little sheet of paper with a plus button on it, and when I hover over it, it says New Page. I click the New Page icon, takes me to a place where I name my page. I can call it new page or whatever I want. And then I select the template that I want to use. And so here's where we see web page, announcements, file cabinet, list, and start page. So I'm just going to make a web page here. And then I select where I want to put it. I can put it at the top of my navigation list, or I can put it under the home screen so it's more hierarchical. Whatever you want to do, it'll be in your site. So I'm going to click create. And now I have a page called New Page. And this is also, because I have a customized navigation bar, it doesn't show up automatically. But now I have a web page within my Google site called New Page. And I can make changes to this. Hello and welcome to the new page. And I can insert things. I go to the insert menu. I can insert an image, a link, a table of contents. And over here we see things like documents, drawings, Picasa photos, spreadsheets. So let me add a document here just so you can see. Let's see, put in SMTP update. No, let's do share. I sent out this announcement the other day. It asked me how high I want my document to be. It defaults to 600 pixels. You can keep it that way. I click save, and now I've got this big gray box where my doc is supposed to be. Once I click the save button in my editor, this is what my users are going to see when I come to this page. So here's my new page, and here is a Google document. Now I can't edit it right here, but it does come with a link so that I can open it in Google Docs or Google Drive and edit it there. So basically, what this does is it saves me time. I can create a document in Google Drive, save it, share it with a whole bunch of people in Google Drive. They can edit it. And when I use the gadget that Google Sites provides to me to put the document on this web page, I have a live view of what the document looks like right now. I don't have to cut and paste text from a document into my web page. I hope you guys understand what I'm getting at there, but it's an incredibly powerful feature that I use constantly when I work on Google Sites for the ITS division. So here we have the new page with a document right in the middle of it that I can scroll through. You can also put in spreadsheets, and I'll show you something like that later. Okay, so now that you've seen creating a page, let me show you some of the templates that I use within my web pages. So here's a basic web page. This is just like what I just created, except this has a Google spreadsheet imported into it rather than a document. And you'll see that with this classroom time record, I can scroll through it. And if I want to edit anything, now this is a Google Doc, remember. So typically I open a Google Doc and I can edit it online from any computer in the world. When I put it into my site, if I make it a list, I can click edit and edit my spreadsheet right on my site. So I'm not going to edit it right now because this is somebody else's stuff, but you get the idea, I hope. So that's a web page. Here's a file cabinet. And by the way, you can add Google gadgets to any type of web page, file cabinet, list, customized list, announcements, whatever you want. Here's a file cabinet. This is where you can upload files and sort them into folders. It's really easy. You click the add file. You pick a file from your hard drive and you upload it. And when your page refreshes, here it is, it's my JPEG sunglasses cat, don't ask. And then I can click select and I can move it to any of the folders, including a new folder if I wanted to make that. So this is a really easy way for you to share and collaborate on documents. I know what we do internally is we have a couple sites where we upload documents we've been working on and then we put it in a folder where someone goes to review them. They can download the documents, make changes, put them back. This is one way of using actual files and not Google Docs to share documents and collaborate on documents. So this works for us for certain things. Maybe it'll work for you too. I'm running out of time, so here is a list. This is just a regular out-of-the-box list that I got by adding a list page to my Google site. It has a column for owner, description, resolution, and complete. If I want to add an item to the list, I click add item. I type in the owner's name. I can make it Tyler, description, right stuff, resolution, no, or whatever the situation is, okay? And then you click save and it'll appear on your list where you can see it right there. highlighted in yellow. So if you want to customize a list, this is incredibly powerful. You can create your own columns. So I have a complete column, owner column, category column, and description column. If I want to edit any of these, I click on it, I get it in a box. Here I've made a drop-down list with members of my team in it. I have the category list with 3 categories to choose from, so I don't have to type everything in. And then I have a description. I also have the option to cancel and delete this item from this box. And then again, if I want to add an item, I use that button right there. The announcements page, this is something that I use. It's kind of like a blog. You create posts, and a new post is coming up right here. You give it a title, okay? You give it text, and when you save it, it has its own URL. If you can see where I've highlighted at the top of my screen, it has its own URL. Believe it or not, if you ever use Help.case.edu, in the upper right-hand column or corner, we have a Hot Topics area. That's where I post these videos once I'm done recording them. Google Sites announcements is actually what we use to get the hot topics onto help.case.edu. So it works with a website that's not in Google Docs or Google Sites as well. So there's a lot of applications for this. I am severely running out of time, and I have not gotten to show you guys any of the good stuff yet. So that's unfortunate. What I'm going to try to do in the future is hold a second one of these where we'll have more time to talk about Google Sites. Sharing and rights real quick. When you go to share a site, you can share it again with the world or anyone on campus or the entire crew domain. So you do get an individual URL for your Google site. You can copy that and send it out to whomever. But the nice thing about Google Sites is that you can restrict access to anyone who has a Google Apps account. So that includes crew people and maybe somebody you're working with from another organization or anywhere else in the world that has a Google Apps account. That could be a Gmail account, or they could work for an organization that, like ourselves, uses Google Apps. So you can give access to anyone. You can just do select individuals. You can limit their rights. You can expand their rights. And you can share it with the world or just a small group. So that's what the sharing settings look like. So for more information, Google Sites has its own Google site, go figure. It's the Google Apps Learning Center. If you go to the link that I've put here in my presentation, it'll take you out to a complete learning center for Google Docs, email, Google Drive, Google Talk, Google Sites, a whole bunch of apps, really, really helpful. Also, if you go to help.case.edu, we have a Google Apps training page. Under training, you can go there for more information. Unfortunately, lynda.com does not have any information on Google Sites right now. We're working on that. If you want more information about Google Sites, you have a couple options. Go to help.case.edu, like I said. Go to the Google Apps Learning Center if you can get access. Your other option, if you are interested in using this for your organization and you would like ITS training to come to one of your departmental meetings to talk about Google Sites, we will do that for you. So please contact us at help@case.edu if you or anyone you work for is interested in hosting us at a meeting where we could talk about using Google Sites, and we could talk privately with you about how this could be used within your division or organization. Okay? I hope you'll join me again in the future. I always post announcements about ITS Connect sessions in the ITS newsletter, on the ITS homepage, case.edu/ITS, and we collect all these videos on a page called Videos at help.case.edu. It's under training. So thank you all for being patient and joining me today. Again, I'm Kristen Collins. Email me if you have questions. Thanks for joining me.